for Waite.
Thank you, sir. My question is to the Minister for Transport and Infrastructure. Minister, what measures will the government undertake to protect the heritage status of the Waite Gatehouse, and would a potential relocation of the Gatehouse as a whole building provide greater heritage status protection than the proposed reconstruction of that building?
The Minister for Infrastructure and Transport.
Thank you very much. I thank the member for the question, and understand that he's going through a process as we speak, which I think sits more in the Attorney's or potentially the Minister for Environment's portfolio. But that is going through a process. We've actually had a really great outcome with this. Of course, we had this problem with that intersection where we needed to upgrade it. There have been 35 accidents there over the past 5 years, and sadly a number of deaths. So we've had the funding again in partnership with the federal government, and we're very keen to improve that intersection. It's right alongside a school, of course, so safety is a real important issue there as well. When we looked at the design, the preference was not to take 18 homes that could have potentially been taken in that, and potentially the gym from that school as well. So we came up with a design. We worked with the university. We went through a number of situations. We started the conversation with the university late last year to look at what we could do around either potentially moving it, and we went through a few processes with that. I made it very clear when I first looked at that it just didn't look like a viable option, and I wasn't comfortable with the amount of money that needed to be spent. But we put that offer onto the table for the university to have a look at as well. They considered that and coincidentally came back to the same conclusion that I came to from the department's advice, that it wasn't a sound operation to do without the guarantee that the building would be standing long term and be usable in the end. So we did come, I think, to a really good landing, and I thank the university for working with us on that, and the community as well. It was really great to accept their feedback and listen to what they had to say. We always had a couple of $1 million in the project for heritage and for potentially repurposing the building as it was taken down. So I think we've landed in a really good situation. The university has agreed with that as well. So going forward, the building will be repositioned up near the main building on Erbray House there, and will be actually be functional. And again, I commend the member for Unley too, who played a really significant role in enabling this to happen, and was a linchpin in bringing this all together. So what we have ended up with, I think, is a really good solution, and I think we're going to keep the character of the gatehouse. In fact, it's actually going to be moved up, I'm told, closer to the gate. The actual gate that was actually involved with that gatehouse got removed a number of decades ago, I was informed, and it didn't actually serve or have its purpose there as being a gatehouse anymore. So that will be actually brought back into the piece of infrastructure there. But again, the key part with this and working with the university is the actual gatehouse will be repurposed fundamentally for volunteers to be able to use and access. When the building was so far away from the main house, the university didn't find a purpose or didn't have a reason to use it. So internally, the salt damp and the deterioration meant the building hadn't been touched for, I think, decades, hadn't been used inside. So it will be repurposed, reused, and the volunteer group that do just such an outstanding job on the Arboretum and that entire facility there will actually have a bit of a base and a bit of a home, and potentially other friends groups as well could use that too. So again, I commend the university. It was a pleasure working with them. I think we've found a really good solution which the community will appreciate, and again, the legacy of Peter Waite will be maintained to that. When we were looking at actually picking up the house and moving it, one of my concerns were the significant and scientific trees that could potentially be impacted by that as well. By this deconstruct and reconstruct process, we have less of an impact on those trees. So again, to all stakeholders involved, and when you do these projects, and it's an important project, road safety and keeping people safe on our roads is incredibly important, and we want to deliver that better piece of infrastructure and have the minimal impact on the community. So the 18 houses that are saved, the minimal impact on the school as well, and to be able to save the gatehouse and have it there and usable into the future, I think it's a really great outcome for the community.